Oops.
There you go.
We did that on purpose, just like you. A couple of quick things. You came in through the store. When you leave, please leave through this door. If you have a cell phone, and you do have a cell phone, please make sure it's on off or silent. Unless, of course, you have AT&T, then don't even worry about it. Lastly, yeah, I'm not bitter at all. No. Lastly, there are no pictures allowed. That goes for not only this room, but anywhere throughout the building. Yes, that does indeed include selfies. Don't want it. Even in the restroom, because apparently that's a thing too. This gentleman is exempt. Just ignore him. He is filming for the performer. Just ignore him. I certainly try to. All right, you ready to see a great show? Yeah. First of all, if you are having dinner at 6, and I assume most of you are, please relax, enjoy the show. Even if you're just a couple of minutes late, you'll be fine. We do it every night. It's not an issue, but I still think it's going to come in on the 6 o'clock. All right, so the performer we're about to meet has been performing here since 1978. And of all the performers we have, he certainly is the most recent. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for one of the castle favorites, Jesse D.
I will never forget the last words my grandfather said to me before he passed. He looked at me, he said, "Stop shaking that ladder, you little son of a..." But before that, he said something I'll never forget. He said, "Jesse, me boy," he said, which was odd because he's Italian. But anyway, he said, "Always leave your audiences wanting more." Is that a good thing? Right? Thank you, I'm gone. That's it. Two things. One, an Italian greeting. How you doing? Two, an Italian toast. Salud! Thank you, yes, thank you. Both of you, good. One of my favorite things is sayings and traditions. One of the traditions I absolutely love is the tradition of breaking bread. Now, breaking bread is a great tradition. It's used for a couple of different things. One, it's used to get to know people. The other thing, it's used to mend fences or to forgive people that have wronged you. So breaking bread is a tradition. Now, of course, if you've wronged them, you probably don't want to have breaking bread, especially if they're gluten intolerant. That's not important right now. But what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is pick up a piece of bread and check it for freshness. Any piece of bread, it doesn't matter which one. And I'd like you to squeeze it over the basket, really squeeze it, check it for freshness, really squeeze it. Yes, no, over the basket, yeah, really squeeze it. Now, you sure you want that one? Because you could choose this one if you want. It doesn't make any difference. You want to squeeze that one? Okay, good. Now, I like bread, and I like the fact that you're mending fences with using bread. But actually, I prefer breaded fish. So there's the bread, and of course there is the fish. Just like that. Thank you. And now a scene from Animal House. Yeah. But I find that interesting, considering if you go to SeaWorld, there's a fish restaurant. This could actually be one of the slow learners. We don't know. Stay. Okay. So what do you guys want to do now? I happen to love coin work, and there's some very, very famous coin men in this. I don't want to embarrass Bobby. But anyway, so there's a lot of famous people that do coin work. I happen to love coin work, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do before I do it. This is called the 3-coin trick, and the reason it's called a 3-coin trick is because I use
3 coins.
Ooh, you've seen this before. All right, the first coin is actually right here. Sorry, right here, that's the first coin. Actually, the second coin is right there. I'll get it right there. That's the second coin. Now, the third coin, how you doing? The third coin is actually right here. That's the third. Sorry. Third coin is actually.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's actually right there. There we go. The 3-coin trick. Sorry, one more time. 3-coin trick. Oh, shoot. Sorry. There's 1, there's 2, and. Bam! 3 coins just like that. Now, each of these coins is exactly alike. Especially this one. These coins are over 150 years old. And this is my favorite coin. Actually, because it's not only a coin, it happens to be one of those things that's you never know what's going to happen next. So like, for instance, I could do this and boom, it changes. By your stunned silence, I can tell that wasn't that good. However, I was doing this for a good friend of mine who happened to be Irish, and I met him at a bar. How strange. Anyhow, I said, I'm going to show you something that you'll find very unusual. And I looked down, and he had a steering wheel in his pants. And I go, hey, you have a steering wheel in your pants. He goes, I know, it's driving me nuts. This will drive you nuts. Watch, it's going to go from here to here, just a little shake that fast. Ooh. Oh, good. Do you like that? I'm going to snap. Look, all I do is I snap and I wave, and of course it turns back into its original shape, which of course is a coin. Thank you. Now remember I said this is kind of a finicky coin, because if I take it and put it in my pocket, it'll actually jump back. I'll do it again, not because you asked. Goes back into the pocket. Did you see it go? It's there. No, see, it came back. You guys want to see something really cool? This is really cool. You'll like this, Bobby. A catch, just like this.
Oh.
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud! Yes, thank you, by the way. And actually, the coin jumps back into my pocket. That's it. So this is a very strange coin, because if I do this, I just rub it like this, it actually takes a different shape. Oh, look, he's on a roll. Not important. Just a snap. All I do is I snap and a wave, and it changes back to its original shape. Thank you. Now, this is actually one of my favorite effects. It's called the three-coin trick, which you know. Now, what I'd like you to do is inspect the coins to make sure everything is as it seems, that there's only 3 coins, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Just make sure there are 3 coins. I want you to watch carefully, because you may miss it. You may not. Take your time. Oh, good, you are. Now, everything is as it seems. There's a great effect in magic. I absolutely love this effect. And it's where the magician takes the coins and they go from hand to hand, one at a time. I'm going to do it this far away so you could see. Now I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do this visibly and invisibly. How you doing? Visibly first. Thank you. Visibly. Invisibly. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3 coins. Just like that. I have a very good friend. His name is Dean Dill. Dean passed away recently, but he was one of my mentors in magic. Great guy. He believed in the simplicity of magic. So I have to name each of my tricks so that I get them straight. So this is called 3 coins and a napkin. Make sure there's nothing inside. And we'll do this with 3 coins and a napkin. It's okay, but there's nothing inside. 3 coins, a napkin, and of course, a light that I don't have. It's okay, we won't use the light. I'll do the wave. You do better. Okay, the first coin very simply goes like this. And if you wait, 1, 2, 3, I actually take the coin like this. And it moves across, and of course. Now I'll do it again, not because you asked me, because it is part of the trick. We'll do this real slow, watch. No move. Let it build. Have a look. Now, right now, I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're thinking, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Because now this coin has to go back underneath the napkin. 2 chances, this will be the absolute best. Because now, the first one went, the second one went, and you, young lady back there, you're really watching. So what I have to do is I have to create a misdirection. Misdirection is the key to magic. So I'm happy to do this for you, but whatever you do, like I said, remember that misdirection is the key. Hey, all right, buddy. Sorry. Watch. That fast. One, two, three coins, just like that. Thank you. Now, invariably, what happens is somebody goes, "Hey, yo, Jess, how'd you do it?" And I explain. There's actually an extra coin right there. I'll take it, I'll put it right there. And I'll make it a little bigger. Bam! Ah, there we go. Just like that. Thanks. As I say, my name is Jesse D, but here's the thing. I am actually, my last name is DiCamillo. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've lived in California most of my life. Every time I go back to Philadelphia, I start talking like this over here. And you gotta have the shoulders too. Hey, how you doing, Bobby? No, Bobby. Right. So, but DiCamillo, of course, is Italian. But here in California, you always pronounce in Italian you pronounce the L, so it's DiCamillo. But if you're in California, you say DiCamillo. So that's why I changed it to D. I'm not kidding you. So I tell people you pronounce the L's, and that's why when we were kids and we played that little game in the pool, it wasn't called Marco Pollo. But that's not important right now. So I did this convention. It was a convention of idiots. These guys were idiots, morons, and nimrods. No, they were great. They had some activities. The activities were great. They had, of course, frisbee golf, and they had table tennis or ping pong, and they had to give it up because one guy broke his leg playing ping pong, which was odd. He jumped over the net when he won. So they did away with that, and then they had javelin catching. But that's not the point. The point is, they were great. And the first time I went there, every time I did it, I've done it the last 5 years, they were late at least a half hour because the escalator stopped. Not important. So this is the name tag. We'll get back to that in just a second. Now I'm going to show you a trick that actually blew these people away, if you don't mind. Indulge me. Sir, I'd like you to do me a favor, and of course this is blank. These are not really cards. These are actually name tags. So I'd like you to do me a favor and take a card. Pull it out. Doesn't matter. Just pull one out. Wait. Yeah, you look at it. Show everybody. Goes in the center. Right on top. He killed. I mean, I'm not thinking, he's got to do it again. Hey, it's great. There's some Italians there too. Anyway, so I'm going to show you something. This is actually a magic marker, and the reason I call it a magic marker is because it makes magic marks. Magic marks. Mark, 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 mark. Sounds like a hair-lipped dog, doesn't it? Mark, 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 mark. Hold on to that if you don't mind. Let's see. That doesn't mean much. Anyway, so here's what I'd like you to do if you don't mind. I'd like you to put an identifying mark on the card. It could be a circle, it could be a square, it could be a triangle, it could be a star, it could be anything. Just write it right there. Just write it. Very intent. No, but it doesn't matter if I see it because I've seen this before. A lot. A heart, perfect. Hold on to that if you don't mind. I want you to do me a favor if you don't mind. You, sir, if you don't mind. I want you to do me a favor and make sure those are dry. Make sure those marks are dry. Because what I'm going to try to do is this. I'm going to try to actually have them rub off. I'm going to take them and hold them right there. Hold on to those if you don't mind, the marks. And if you don't mind, toss them in the deck. perfect, yeah. So now all we do is find the mark. Yep, there we go. Thank you. Now I can give you this as a souvenir, but it won't mean anything to you because it doesn't have anything that identifies you. Now most magicians, when they come in and do a show, the first thing you do is they go, Jesse D! And then I come in and I introduce myself to you. And I didn't do that. I was not trying to be rude. They rushed me into the show. I'm very sorry, but I didn't catch your first name. What is it? Natalie, I want you to watch because these are marks. I want you to watch. Don't take your eyes off the card because all I do is go BAM, you see? And the word Natalie appears on the card just like that with her identifying mark. Just like that. And you can keep that. It's a very cheap souvenir. Don't worry about it. So I'll take this and let's see. Let's do something else. Oh, I should explain. Every and they're gone. There's a great trick in magic, and I didn't know the principle. And I do the trick first, and then I'm going to teach you basically how it happens. So what the magician does is he takes a card, he puts it approximately in the middle of the deck like this, and it comes to the top. Now I don't do that trick. All I want to do is find out what the principle was. The principle is very simple. The principle is, and I learned it actually from the fish. No, the fish is fine. The fish is fine. Hey, do you know what you call a fish? Do you know what you call a fish with one eye? Anyway, sometimes you can take it, like I say, the principle of the fish is this. Even if I drop the fish in and I put it in the center, push that in. All the way, just push it in. Yeah, perfect. It goes right to the bottom. You see, like it just happened. Okay, now watch. Here's the other thing. If I do this, I add a little fish food. You know, that's what happens with fish. If I put fish food in, it'll come right to the top. But like I say, I don't do that trick. See, it came back to the top. Now I need somebody that's pretty good in drawing. You, sir.
I'm not
You're not good.
Terrible.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be that perfect. You, sir, if you don't mind. I want you to do me a favor. Come on up. Let's give him a hand. Stand right there if you don't mind. Pick up that card if you don't mind. That card right there. Yeah. And make sure it's dry. Make sure that it's dry. Perfect. And I want you to draw the fish actually horizontally like that. Just two. You can do 2 8s. It doesn't